Major Howard Feldmeyer, United States Marine Corps.
John Jones, 4th Infantry Division.
Corporal Jose Luis Montes, U.S. Army.
My husband, my uncle,
My father-in-law.
my older brother,
My wife.
My son.
It truly is never too late to say thank you, and every single time you do it, it really makes a difference.
My aunt, Staff Sergeant, New York National Guard. Thank you.
I want to thank my husband and my father for making the ultimate sacrifice.
I can't express how proud I am of my son.
My Uncle Gil is definitely a very proud soldier. I wouldn't be where I am today without people like him.
This is my father serving in Vietnam. Everything that this country stands for, I saw in him as he went through his service. And it made me want to serve all that much more.
When I look at these medals, they send cold chills through my body because I look at them and I realize my son's not here. I just miss you so much, but I love you and I'm so, so proud of you. Thank you. Mama loves you.
I think our men and women make history with their sacrifice. Every single day they're working towards sculpting a future that we can be proud of.
thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Papa.
Wow. Well, of all the people we've seen today, perhaps they have given the most. Imagine losing a son or daughter or a parent.
Well, we thank you too. Listen, we are here celebrating all the men and women who have given the ultimate price, and those who've given many, many years of their lives for our freedom.
Paul Bunka, is this the best Veterans Day parade you've ever seen in New York City? I heard about 15 years ago there are more people marching in the parade than people were looking at it.
I have a problem.
What happened?
The sound is gone.
Okay,
Can you hear
us
me?
Yes,
anymore.
you're on.
Wonderful.
You're
That's
on.
fantastic.
You're on.
I think this is the best Veterans Day parade I've ever seen here since maybe the World War II era, because there was a lull. During Korea there was nothing. Vietnam there was nothing. And then afterwards it picked up again. So this is looking at a bygone era, and it's here to stay.
Well, you're looking at men and women who've served our country so well, and we celebrate them today.
I think it's also important, that clip that we just saw, talking about those who've given the last full measure. We can't forget our obligation to those families. And Medal of Honor, widows get nothing after their husbands die. And it's something we should perhaps change.
Well, our hats are off to the men and women of the military. And as we look at the Statue of Liberty, we celebrate our freedom thanks to the men and the women of the military. Please stay with us as New York City's Veterans Day Parade marches up Fifth Avenue.
The Iraq and Afghanistan Veterans of America, the IAVA. We heard from Paul Rykoff earlier. He's their executive director.
And they look very young, Paul. Very, very young people walking in this particular area.
How many people altogether have served in Iraq and Afghanistan? Over the years, I think if you add them up, it's got to be close to 1 million. Thank you. Thank you. We'll be right back.
Men and women in the armed forces, heartfelt gratitude and appreciation for your sacrifice, your effort, your work.
Look at this. We have some four-legged marchers in the parade.
Yeah, they're part of ECAD. They're service dogs that are especially educated to assist people with disabilities. They help them with opening doors, carrying and picking up items, and they're helping some of our veterans who come back and need a little extra assistance.
There are dogs also who help during combat operations. We all learned about that dog that actually participated, that went along with the Navy SEALs into Osama bin Laden's compound in Pakistan.
Thank you so much. All right. Thank you.
Well, one of the things these dogs are doing today is they found that they offer a relief of tension to the people suffering from severe manifestations of PTS, not even physical disability, the mental disability.
Good-looking dogs.
Yeah, some of these dogs are really beautiful.
I think that's a different country. That's the MTA Blues, yes. And those are as close as you get to a war dog.
Well, we have lots of young people in this parade today. Some have come from far and wide to be here to march up Fifth Avenue.
And if you listen to this, I technically should be on my feet. It is the Marine hymn. Take a listen.
Go ahead, Greg.
That's all right. Every service has their own song. This is Wild Blue Yonder, the Air Force.
The Air Force's Yonder, yeah. Anchors Away, caissons go rolling along, Army song, Anchors Away, Navy. Then we have the Marine hymn. And off we go to the Wild Blue Yonder.
It's still a little strange to see tanks rolling up the streets of New York City.
Right.
I know this is part of the parade, but it really looks a little weird.
Well, don't be too alarmed. These are Jeeps and Humvees.
Correct.
And they're going the wrong way up Fifth Avenue, just so you know. You're supposed to go down Fifth Avenue.
One little secret about the Humvee.
Yes.
You see it right there. It's tan. You can start a Humvee just by pressing a button. It does not require a key, Rosanna. So if you know how to drive a Humvee anywhere in the world, you can jump in, press a button, and go.
I have to tell you that I have dreamed of driving a Humvee because, you know, with the traffic in New York City, I want something that can really help me get around town.
Well, Arnold Schwarzenegger agrees with you.
Right.
He has had one for a long time, but it's true. You can't afford to lose your keys in combat, you know?
Right.
So, and if you were to lose your keys, you can't just sit there. You jump into a Humvee, press a button, and you're off and running.
One of the things that's interesting about the Humvee, it was originally intended to replace the Jeep. It's a better all-terrain type vehicle. We didn't have an armored vehicle appropriate for the Iraq and Afghanistan wars, so they put armor siding on it. And that made the vehicle too heavy.
We have some, these are, gosh, these go a little bit further back than the
Yes.
Gulf War even. These are pretty old trucks.
It's called a deuce and a half.
A deuce and a half?
Deuce and a half.
What does that mean?
2.5 ton.
Deuce and a half.
And that's the
Deuce.
vehicle.
Okay.
That's the vehicle that was driven, that hit Patton in Germany after World War II, the accident that took his life.
Huh.
That huge truck hitting a little car.
Well, lots of people still out on the streets of New York City honoring our veterans as we celebrate 11/11/11 Veterans
There he
Day.
is. Rosanna, I think he's taking your picture.
He is.
He's taking video of being on TV while he's on TV.
I like that. I like that. Well, we've met a lot of interesting people today. We've learned
Yes.
about what they've done in war, how they've helped their fellow man, and ultimately gave us the freedom to walk around and conduct our business day to day.
And I'd like to give a closing thought in the sense of about what this parade is all about. It's not just honoring veterans, it's honoring their families. And in that sense, we're honoring people who never served but did make sacrifices. And I think the spirit of America comes together on a Veterans Day that says we veterans are part of you. We're not separate, we're not distinct. Our families always remained here while we served abroad. And this is a holiday that should be bringing America together to realize how absolutely fortunate and lucky we are to be here. And that there are some people that we ask to go to far-off lands. They don't know the language, they don't know the culture, they don't even can't find it on a map. And they go there trusting us that that's what they should do, and they do it. And for that, this is a special country. It's a special country because kids are willing to go sacrifice their lives, potentially, for something worth standing up for.
Watching Building Homes for Heroes go by, a nonprofit. They build literally homes for the returning wounded.
Correct.
Really wonderful, wonderful cause. Paul, I don't want to get too political here, but some people from time to time talk about bringing back the draft. Congressman Rangel has been pushing that for a while. I want to talk to you about that right after the break. Stay with us, please.
Thank you for everything that you're doing doing for our country. We appreciate it.
And happy Veterans Day. Hi everybody, thank you so much for everything you do. We really appreciate you and we're thinking about you. Happy Veterans Day.
Hey, it's Mark Burnett, and a lot of respect and love for our troops on Veterans Day.